These would be so useful in my seminary and in others around the world. So he came in and we had a little chat. He asked if I would give some of these books to Lesotho. I told him that Union Theological Seminary would be happy to donate the books, but we had no funds to do the shipping. Well, that didn't deter David, who then began to go out and solicit money from churches. I began to do the same thing, and we gathered enough money to begin shipping. And on March 15, 1978, we sent out the first M-bag, these canvas bags, filled with books for Lesotho. Very quickly, exchange students from other countries watched this process and came to see me one by one and asked, what about our school? When the American Theological Library Association some years later told me that this was not something I could do and that we would be overwhelmed by trying to do it, I thanked them for their advice and kept on shipping books. I was dumb enough a few years later to come back to them and tell them how many we had sent. Some of the packages sent certainly were valuable to these schools, and even so, it would be an overwhelming task to do, they said. Over against this skepticism about the project, we were blown away and sometimes moved to tears by the letters from the schools receiving the books, particularly those that included photographs. And when you saw those photographs of people opening these M-bags, big grins on their faces. They didn't have to say a word. It was all there in the picture. The joy was on their faces. It was like many Christmases around the world. Volunteers began to come and help me to box and package and ship, make the shipments. We entered a little bit of a crisis with the Postal Service because they ended the M-bag service. And with that service, we had been sending on average books for $1 a piece. Once they changed their formula and did away with the M-bags, it was $4.95 per volume. I assumed that we were done for. When the Postal Service made this change, then we found out about the Theological Book Network. And you need to know about that in your schools. If you have books that could be available around the world, you don't have to wrap them in boxes and figure out the postage and send them. You get in touch with the Theological Book Network and they will take it from there. Because we worked on such a large scale at that time, they were willing to send to us the same rate that we had had before, and we would give to them an equal number of books for their general projects. As of this past week, we have sent or have packaged, there are about 30 boxes packaged ready to go again, so there's some approximation in these numbers, over 200,000 books and pamphlets. And as part of this work, we've also sent 13,579 to the Book Network. Why did I leave the ministry? I don't think I have really left it. I think we ought to salute theological librarians. As for me, I am primarily a bookman and attempting to serve the people. My younger colleagues are well versed in networks and systems and can help you and your students through the labyrinth of all the new technologies and all the new systems. While they do that, I shuffle downstairs, turn classical music on the radio, think about the recipients, pray for the recipients, and pack more books. Thank you for your patient listening to the older version of Theological Library Science 101. Anything else you could do for me would be to go check out a book and read it.